Welcome to Brave Healer Productions. It's time to experience what's possible. So, what if there's something you haven't learned yet that could change everything? Welcome, everyone. I'm Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Brave Healer Productions Publishing, where we are helping the world experience what's possible. And here today to help me with that mission are a couple of the amazing authors of one of our newest books. This is called We Lead: Building Connection, Community, and Collaboration for Women in Business. And this is volume 3 of an amazing series from lead author AliceAnne Loftus. I'm going to shout her out real quick before we start chatting with the gals here. AliceAnne, we wouldn't be here without you. You had a ginormous vision and mission for this book. You gathered around you a stellar group of expert co-authors that it's creating this book like, oh my gosh, don't you wish you had this book in the beginning of your own business? Like, imagine having a team of coaches, a whole team of coaches in all of the different topic lanes that you need and want, right? To really take care of yourself and your business moving forward. This is that book. So, AliceAnne, I'm super grateful and honored to be here guiding this with you. I have a couple pretty cool Julies in my Zoom room today. Julie Blamfin is a yoga pro, speaker, retreat leader, and the founder of Stretch Your Spirit, where she inspires women to feel joyful, stable, and sexy through movement and stillness. And Julie Campbell is here. She's the president and CEO of the Severn Leadership Group, making the world better through virtuous leadership. Gals, welcome. Julie B., I'm going to start with you. Would you please give us a little bit of your why behind the chapter that you wrote?
I'll tell you, I've been teaching ever since I was 12 years old. I've been teaching some form of body movement. I was raised in a school of gymnastics, and my mother was my mentor and my head coach and my biggest inspiration for wellness. And through my life and through my business journey and speaking with hundreds of women on retreats, in workshops, in private yoga practice or group yoga practice, one of the biggest complaints, if you will, one of the biggest challenges is aches and pains. And then we start to get near menopause and it seems like it's just this normal thing. Well, I wrote this chapter, Why Sitting is Sabotaging Your Stability. That's the title. Why Sitting is Sabotaging Your Stability, because we're all sitting, right? Sit happens. And there are very, very simple tips and tricks that we can be practicing every day to sort of mitigate and reduce some of the challenges that we're dealing with. And I am just hoping to help just one person out there feel a little bit better more often.
I'm anterior tilting my pelvis as you're talking to me as I sit here in
That's
my
right.
my little stool, right? I'm gonna get my position just a little bit better today. And you know, that's what you're doing with all of your educating, is you're helping us understand the positions of strain and stress of the movements or lack of movement that we're doing that's really can cause like long standing damage later. Like, I don't want you to scare people, but tell us why this should matter.
They say sitting is the new smoking. There are so many negative affects of the body position that we get in when we're sitting. It doesn't matter if we're sitting up tall, doesn't matter if we're relaxed when we're sitting on the sofa, in the car, at the dining room table. It doesn't matter how we're sitting. Sitting is sabotaging our stability. So there are other positions that the body can be in to sort of decondition that position and decondition some of the just basic aches and pains, and then maybe even conditions and injuries that we go to.
Okay, so like my standing desk, I'm not using it right this second, but it's here. But you're going beyond that kind of thing. So I know that's a good thing for people is to get up if they have a standing desk and do some of, sometimes I'll do little leg curls while I'm standing if it's not bothering people that I'm moving back and forth like that. But can you give me like one other example, taking breaks, standing desk? What else are you teaching us about?
Absolutely. And you asked prior, why is this such a big deal? So it's not just hurting. It's not just creating aches and pains. It's not just hurting, let's say, the pelvis and the low back. It's not just leading to musculoskeletal injury and condition. It is leading to heart issues. We're sedentary. We are not practicing that movement. We're not practicing that cardio boost that we need when we sit so much. It's hurting digestion. It's really getting in the way of this nice, smooth, relaxing move that we want to happen low in the abdominal cavity. It's getting in the way. It's hurting so much more in the body. And there are things, not only yoga poses and body positions, that we can practice every day, but we can really look at where we're sitting and how we're sitting, and especially how long we're sitting. So just heightening our awareness of body positioning, where we are, when we're there, and how we're there. Just heightening the awareness can just be all the difference in the world.
Definitely. Awareness is everything. Awareness gives you that choice. Julie, thank you for saying yes to this project, for being here today to share. We have so much to talk about on this subject. I'm going to move over to Julie Campbell for a moment. And Julie, I'm going to ask you your why.
Thanks, Laura. Well, and hi, Julie, my other Julie friend. Um, so this is the fourth book that I've written with you, Laura, and the third, both Julie and I think, did all three chapters in these, or three books that we lead. And so as I sat down for this momentous occasion, not for the podcast, but for writing this, I really started to get nostalgic. And what to write about. And I realized that I wanted to celebrate the people who have helped me along the way. So I didn't want to write about what I did, but who I did life with, and why I do what I do today because of these folks, and really some amazing women in my life who have mentored me. So my chapter is chapter 6, The Mentorship Advantage: Build Others to Build Your Business. And it celebrates those women in my life, but also applies how you can be mentored and why you should be mentored, and then how you can pay it forward to mentor others and what that looks like, and how that can just boost your business and your well-being, which I think is going to be a theme here today.
For sure. Oh my gosh. So I was actually thinking about you this week. I was in a session listening to a coach, and the statement went something like this. A person will rise or fall to the level of the belief system of the people around you about you. And so I immediately thought of mentorship and thought of authentic mentorship. And, sometimes we need people to believe in us more than we believe in ourselves. And it really made me sort of take a look at my inner circle, the people I was surrounding myself with. We've all heard that quote, like, you're the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. But there was an energetic component to that. And I was finally sort of having a little light bulb go off with this statement, but the how of it, like, we got to check what we're thinking about other people. It matters, right? Tell me, what do you want to say about that?
Absolutely. So, you've got three leading lady ambassadors here, and, bringing it back to AliceAnne and her vision. And we really, as a group of a dozen of us, come together and support each other, and we're really mentoring each other. We may not call it all the time, but we hold it, and what we practice at Summer Leadership Group is this holistic mentoring. So it's not just your job profession, right? It's not just how to do your finances. It's everything, including the wellness. A little secret, I just came from Julie's yoga class this morning.
Yay.
Right? But it helped me prepare for this. And so AliceAnne and her strategic wheel, we all support that with our different fields. And then we support each other because goodness knows I need help and to be lifted up by these other women. And we've through our mentorship of each other, we've really grown to trust, respect. We know each other and we hold each other accountable, which these are all tenets that when you have mentors in your life, whether you call them official mentors or not, this is what's going to happen. You're just going to flourish.
The Mentorship Mastery book is phenomenal, by the way. So Julie led that book, and y'all should go buy that one too. And one of AliceAnne's notes in that book, or her message in that book, was the difference between coaching and mentorship. And you're making me think of that right now when you're talking about holistic mentorship. It's got to be everything. It has to be integrated: life, business, relationships, all the things, or else I don't think any one of those kinds of things works real well unless you've got the rest of the picture, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Really, really cool. Okay. I want to ask you both a question about leadership, right? This is We Lead, and there's a theme of community, of collaboration, which is just such big, badass energy when it comes to leadership. So, Julie Campbell, I'm going to stick with you for a minute for this one first. What does it even mean to you to be an authentic leader?
Well, first, to be an authentic leader, you need to know yourself. You need to know what you cherish, what you value. I take it a step further in Summer Leadership Group and have a foundation of what we use our virtues. And so having a firm foundation to build off of and to help guide my behaviors, so do I have authentic behaviors. And then it's living out what you preach. It's walking the walk, and walking your talk, I guess, is the better way to say it. So one of the things we say, and AliceAnne actually brought it up in this book, is leadership begins with you, but it's not about you. So that is when I think of my authenticity, I can use that statement as a check. Is this all about me? And maybe there are times when it can be. You need to celebrate, when things are going your way and you've done a great job. But in the end, did I really go out with my intention to support somebody today? And did I do that? So being authentic is, what do I value? What are my virtues? What do I strive out to do that day? And then at the end of the day, checking in when I've got, I'm doing my little meditation before I go to sleep. How well did I live that out? And, I didn't do so well there. So tomorrow I'm going to try and do better so that I can live that authentic life in leadership wherever I'm leading, at home with my little boys, or at work, or with the Leading Lady ambassadors and the Leading Lady group.
Yeah, perfect examples. Thank you for that. Okay, Julie Blamfin, what do you want to add? To you, what does authentic leadership mean?
This is a great question, Laura. And I'm going to piggyback on Julie Campbell's answer. We had a meeting the other day, some of the leading ladies, and it was themed on authenticity and how that comes into your business. One of the things that I contributed during this meeting, and I'll contribute now, is that when I first founded my business, Stretch Your Spirit, back in 2009, I was still really struggling with this fear of authenticity, the fear of vulnerability, and really going deep inside who I am and leading from that. Fast forward from that year to 2017 when I first started leading women's wellness retreats. And it was the last night of my first retreat, and we were in Mexico, and we were all sitting around this big, beautiful table under this enormous caiba tree in the Yucatan, and everyone was sharing. And I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, it's getting to me. It's almost my turn. And I started almost like panicking because this authentic little high schooler who was bullied was sitting there at the end of the table thinking, ah, I don't want to answer this question that I asked. Right? And then I'm thinking to myself, what bullshit? That's just total bullshit. You're the leader. Come on now. It's okay to have that fear. I mean, don't bear all. Maybe don't go to that shock value that you can very well go to. If you know me, you know. But settle into self, celebrate self, and answer the freaking question. Like a leader, like someone who is stepping into that authenticity with vulnerability and the softer side of self, that full moon inside us that's just like, you are sparkly, you are filled with light, and you are filled with such power that you can answer this question. The world is not going to fall apart. You are not going to dissolve into a million pieces. But who would I be as the leader if I didn't step into my authenticity, answer the question, lead with courage, even if I am feeling nervous? I'm going to just step into myself and celebrate that moment, however I'm feeling, and be that leader that I know I am. And I've learned that over the years. A lot of that I've learned from my mother again. And a lot of that I've been really practicing and learning and cultivating through the Leading Ladies.
So, gals, I have just a big thank you to both of you. You know, you took on my challenge of putting that vulnerable story in the book. And then in the second part, your master teachings. And we've got this book, this toolkit of practical experiences that you all have laid out in writing for people. And it's just brilliant. And I thank you both for doing that. As I continue the gratitude, I'll give people just a little peek at this beautiful cover. We lead. There's a thank you that goes out to Jennifer Osterhaus for her cover design and the whole 3-book series. Jennifer, thank you for that. And yeah, I'm just always honored and grateful to be playing in the soundbox with the likes of you all, amazing, badass women. Julie Blamfin, what's the most important thing you want people to know about that sabotage that's happening with our sitting habits?
So when you read this chapter, you're going to see these practices at the end of my writing there. It's so hard to say which one is most important or my favorite, but obviously we all think about posture, right? We all think about posture when we're thinking about sitting. I want to remind you that there are more positions to your body than just upright. So thinking supine on your back, prone on your belly, side lying, standing, all of the different ways that we can be. But I think the most important, and I wore the shirt in as a reminder, relax your pelvic floor. When you're sitting, whether you're working, whether you're watching Netflix, whether you're having a meal, relax your pelvic floor, your low belly, relax that low space under your torso. Because often it's those muscles and tissues down there are clenching. I mean, think about it. We're sitting on it, right? For long, long periods of time. So I would say probably that's the tip top tip. Relax that pelvic floor.
Anyone else just unclench? It was good, right? Okay. Thank you, Julie. Okay, Julie Campbell. You'll close us out today with yours. What's that most important thing you want us to know about building others to build our business?
Okay. Well, it's 2 steps. First, I'm going to encourage you all to build your personal board of advisors. I call them mentors, but build those personal advisors, and even harder, pick people that are different than you. That takes courage, but that's what's really going to stretch you. And then once you have that practice going and you're being mentored, then consider mentoring others, really giving of yourself. When you mentor others, you, of course, are pouring into your business. You're going to catalyze growth in your business. You're going to catalyze well-being, whether it's with your employees, if you have employees, or with your customers or clients or your suppliers, whoever that might be. You're going to pour into them and they're going to notice that. But you're also going to reap the rewards of what I call reverse mentoring. So you're going to learn what's important to others in this multicultural, multi-discipline, multi-generational world. And all of us in our businesses and my nonprofit, we're here to provide services, products, support, really to serve our greater good, our communities. And when you are mentoring, you're learning from others to know what they need and what matters most. And so you will really living out that mentorship in action. So that's my tip for you, and got a couple tips in my book or in my chapter that talk about that.
So many tools, tips, strategies, like from lifelong amounts of dedication, you two. So thank you, Julie Campbell, Julie Blampton. Thank you so much for what you do in the world and for being here today to share it with everyone. You guys, this is way more than a book. This is an incredibly generous community. So drop down into the show notes. I have both the Julies hooked up with their websites, their links, and they're waiting for you to reach out, ask a question, carry on the conversations that we started today. They're there for you and can answer all of those questions. Of course, we hope you grab your copy of We Lead. It's over on Amazon. I have the link down below for you for that. And lastly, everyone, remember, your words change the world when you're brave enough to share them. So it is time to be brave. See you next time, everyone.